We are now in episode 6 of Ahsoka, and this episode is called Far, Far Away. We actually have a character say the famous words a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, because they have, in fact, traveled to another galaxy where Thrawn and Ezra are. And so, yes, we do finally get to meet Thrawn and Ezra. And actually, Ahsoka is barely in this episode at all. She's literally just in the opening scene. Other than that, Sabine is the main character. And I think I've said before that it kind of feels like Sabine is more of the main character of the show. And last episode was a very big Ahsoka episode because it was her talking with Anakin in the Force as she's struggling to stay alive. But again, she's barely in this one at all. This is all Sabine. Thrawn, played by Lars Mikkelsen, who also voiced him in Rebels. He comes in looking sufficiently menacing. I did see some chatter on Twitter where people were complaining about his weight, which is like, come on, leave the guy alone. like he's not the like incredibly thin Thrawn that he looked in Rebels, but like, it's Lars Mikkelsen. The dude weighs what the dude weighs. It's fine. He's not that fat. He has a little bit more of a chin. Come on, it's fine. This episode kind of just is Sabine going and like exploring this new planet, and you know, we're introduced to some new like little rock snail humanoid characters, and it seemed like there was just a lot more like world building and also introducing Thrawn and his Imperial remnant. I don't know where we're going with it. I assume that the show is going to end with Thrawn getting back to the main galaxy. I assume that they're introducing Thrawn here because they want him to be a bigger villain for all of the other Disney Plus shows. And, you know, they built the big hyperspace ring, I'm assuming, so that the Thrawn's Star Destroyer can like dock into it and then head back to the main galaxy. Ezra shows up in this one. He doesn't do quite a lot yet, other than he meets up with Sabine, and it seems like Sabine is like a little hesitant to tell him the truth of how she got here, and because he just assumes that she's here to rescue him and get him home, even though she came with the villains. She was really just coming here to be with Ezra because she feels like she's lost everyone else. But I don't know how much more, what much more is to talk about with this episode, because like it is an ongoing story thing. We've got Thrawn. He looks pretty good. I'm glad that Lars Mikkelsen is back to play him because he voiced him in Rebels and he did great there. And you know, he's a great guy. He's brothers with Mads Mikkelsen, who also has been in Star Wars. So that's interesting. But I think we're going to be seeing more with Baylan Skoll, the Dark Jedi, and it also seems like now that everyone's there, that the Imperial remnant who is here to rescue Thrawn, they actually don't seem to be in alignment with Baylan Skoll. They call him a mercenary, and it seems like they're just looking to leave him here as well, because even though he's no longer a Jedi, he was once a Jedi, and Thrawn doesn't seem to trust him very much. So it should be interesting to see some inter-villain conflict there. But I really like Baylan Skoll as a villain, and I'm kind of torn between, obviously he can't come back because Ray Stevenson is dead, unless they brought him back in animation and had a different voice, which I would be okay with. But I'm kind of torn between wanting them to have written this character with the intention of having him be a big recurring villain later versus having him be the big villain to defeat for this show, whereas Thrawn is being set up to be the big recurring villain, which I think that's likely what's actually going to happen. I think Baylan Skoll is probably likely just the villain specific to this show, which makes sense because they introduced him from the start and he's been the one going after Ahsoka, and Thrawn is such a big character in lore that there's no shot that they introduce him here only to have him defeated here. Like, I'm pretty sure Thrawn's just going to end up being the villain for the Dave Filoni film that's coming out. I imagine that film is probably going to be Dave Filoni doing like the Avengers style team up of all of his different Disney Plus shows. But that's about all I've got to say about this week of Ahsoka. It's pretty good having Ezra back. Like I said, it's been a while since I've seen Rebels, so I don't really have an immediate emotional connection to the guy. He hasn't done a lot yet in this show, but we'll see how it goes. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm trying to get my channel monetized, so your view means a lot. Don't forget to toss me a like and subscribe and ring the bell. I stream every Monday and Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific, so catch me live and join in on the convo. You can find all my socials in the description below, and thank you to all my patrons with a special shout out to Piftle Cakes and Ryan D. Your support means the world. Catch you next time.